Howdy friends, it's Miss W again from University City Public Library with another story time. Seems like it's been so long, but I'm so glad to be here today. But let's get started by doing a hello song. Are you ready? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? How are you today? It's good to have you here. It's good to have you here. It's good to have you here. How are you today? Yay! And it's so good to have you here. But let's get ourselves all warmed up. Are you ready? Let's put our hands in the air. Put your hands in the air, in the air. Put your hands in the air, in the air. Put your hands in the air. Now shake them up there. Put your hands in the air, in the air. Can you spin your arms? Spin your arms, spin your arms, spin your arms. Spin your arms. Stop. Go the other way. Spin your arms, 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 spin your arms. Clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Clap them real fast. Clap them real fast. Stop. Clap them real slow. Clap them real slow. Clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Yay! Now we're all warmed up and ready for story time. This story time is going along with our summer reading program, which is Tales and Tales. T-A-I-L and T-A-L-E-S. So we're going to talk about animal tales today. They're tales. The first book is called The Perfect Tale. This is a Fred and Lulu story, and it is written by Mai Araki. Look at all the tales. I wonder what animals do these tales belong to. Let's find out. There we go again. Look at all the animals at the bottom. There's a rhino, a raccoon, a mouse. This is supposed to be a porcupine. And there's a bunny and a peacock. One day, Fred met Rodney by the stream. Lovely day for laundry, isn't it? Said Rodney. But Fred didn't answer. He was too busy admiring Rodney's striped tail. He thought about it all the way home. I wish I had a striped tail like Rodney's, he said. So he painted a beautiful stripe on his tail. But it washed away in the shower. The next day, Fred met Myrtle at the playground. Great day for swinging, said Myrtle. Care to join me? But Fred was speechless with admiration. He couldn't take his eyes off of Myrtle's long tail. He thought about it all the way home. I wish I had a long tail like Myrtle's, he said. So he tied a long ribbon on his own tail. But it got all tangled up when he went jump roping. The next day, Fred went with a picnic with Peter. Aren't these sunflower seeds delicious? Peter said. But Fred couldn't eat. He was all choked up over Peter's colorful tail. He thought about it all the way home. I wish I had a colorful tail like Peter's, he said. So he glued bright feathers all over his tail. But they fell off when he started dancing. Gasp! Penny's spiky tail took his breath away. He thought about it all the way home. I wish I had a spiky tail like Penny's, he said. So he stuck a bunch of toothpicks in his own tail. But then, ouch! He couldn't sit down. Ouch! The next day, Fred was going swimming when he heard a voice say, "What a fine tail you have." Fred turned around. "You mean me?" he said. "Of course," said Lulu. "It's not too stripy, it's not too long, it's not too colorful, it's not too spiky. It's perfect. Want to go swimming?" So Fred and Lulu went swimming together, and Fred didn't have to worry about his stripes washing off. They had a picnic together, and Fred's tail didn't hurt a bit when he sat down. They danced together, and no feathers fell off of Fred's tail. They jumped rope together, and Fred's tail didn't get all tangled up at all. "Thank you, Lulu," said Fred. "That was a wonderful day." "You're welcome, Fred," said Lulu. "I had a good time too." Said Fred, "You have a wonderful horn." "Thank you," said Lulu. "I thought you'd never notice." And that's the end of that story. Sometimes not sometimes, all the time, it's best for you to be just who you are with whatever hands, eyes, nose, feet that you have. Okay, let's get, the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to put on a spider's web. Look at my spider's web. And what am I going to do with this? Well, I have one elephant went out to play on a spider's web one day. He had such enormous fun. He called for another elephant to come. "Oh, elephant!" Two elephants went out to play on a spider's web one day. They had such enormous fun. They called for another elephant to come. Elephant! Three elephants went out to play on a spider's web one day. They had such enormous fun. They called for another elephant to come, and they said, elephant! Can you say that with me? Let's try it again. Elephant! 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 elephants went out to play on a spider's web one day. They had such enormous fun. They called for another elephant to come. 5 elephants went out to play on a spider web one day. They had so much enormous fun, but the web went creak, and the web went crack, and all the elephants went kerplack. Oh, that was fun. How many elephants did we have? 5 elephants, and they were playing on a spider web. Now, let's get ready for another story. We're talking about animal tales. How do we know what animal has what tail? I have a book that's going to help us to decide that. Who has this tail? By Laura Hulbert, and it's illustrated by Eric Brooks. Are you going to be able to help me to figure out whose tail this is? Well, listen, who has this tail? Look at that long tail. I don't know. Let's turn the page and find out. A spider monkey! A spider monkey has this tail. A spider monkey uses his tail to hang from branches. Okay, that was one. Who has this tail? Ready? Let's find out. A rattlesnake has this tail. A rattlesnake uses its tail to warn its enemies, don't come close. Now this is a strange looking tail. Who has this tail? Let's find out. Doo-doo. A shark! You thought of that, didn't you? A shark has this tail. A shark uses this tail to push itself through the water. Look at him. Does he look friendly? Not too. Look at this long tail. Who has this tail? This may not be too bad. Let's find out. A gerbil? A gerbil has this tail. A gerbil uses his tail, look, to balance himself on his back legs so he can stand up. It helps him stand up. Who would have known it? Who has this tail? You know, guess. You are right. A horse has this tail. A horse uses this tail to flick the flies off of him. Shoot, fly. Who has this tail with all these different parts to it? Let's find out. A scorpion! A scorpion has this tail. A scorpion uses this tail to sting its prey. Don't touch me. Now, I know you probably know who has this tail. Isn't it a beautiful tail? Let's see who it is. You're right, it's a peacock. A peacock uses its tail to attract a mate. Who has this tail? This one threw Miss W for a loop. I was expecting it to be something else. Because what does it look like? It looks like it's a cat, but it's not. It's an Arctic fox. Arctic fox are white. An Arctic fox uses its tail to stay warm when it sleeps. Who has this tail? A worker has this tail. A beaver that works real hard has this tail. A beaver uses his tail to steer the water so it can go where it wants to go. The water helps him go that way. Who has these tails? Let me see if I can turn this whole page so that you can see. We have these tails. The end. Look at all the animals with all their tails. Speaking of tails, I happen. Look at this. Do you see all these animals? None of these animals have their tails on them. Let's see if you can help me figure out who gets what tail. Oh, look at this one. It's sticking up high and it's real fluffy. I wonder whose tail is that? The elephant? No. No, it's not quite for the fox either. How about the squirrel? It's the squirrel's tail. Good job, friends. Uh-oh, look at this. It's a little puffy tail. Who do you think this little puffy tail goes to? This is kind of an easy one, isn't it? That's right, it belongs to the bunny. It's a bunny's tail. Sly, Mr. Who does this one go to? Can you think? Does it belong to the kangaroo? No. The lion? No. What about Mr. Fox? That's right, it's a fox's tail. Well. Ooh. Look at this one. Whoa. Maybe the kangaroo? Nah. Not the elephant. So who's left? That's right, the lion. It's the lion's tail. As if the lion was sitting down, it'd be just like that. You can almost tell whose tail this is, can't you? By the skin. We know. Nah, whose skin is like this? That's right, the elephant. It's the elephant's tail. One more left. Hopping kangaroo. And that's the kangaroo's tail. Okay, Miss W has kangaroo backwards, but we're going to put it just like that anyhow. That's the kangaroo tail. And lion, bunny, squirrel, fox, elephant, and kangaroo. Good job. Give yourselves a hand. You helped me to figure out what tail goes to what animal. And now we have another story. And it's called Churchills Tale. And this is by Anka Sadhu. What animal is Churchill? That's right, Churchill is a pig. Let's see what Churchill's Tale is all about. Churchill was a very proud pig. Just like any other pig, this is his tale of tales. Churchill valued many things in life. Smelling beautiful flowers, painting self-portraits, playing classical music, and reading good books. And he loved to have tea with his friends, Billy and Gruff. Milk and sugar, you see it. But Churchill had one thing that he prized above anything else: his tail. It was not a big tail. It was not a fancy tail. It wasn't even a practical tail. But it was his tail, and it made him feel great. But one morning, his tail was nowhere to be found. He looked in the closet. He searched here. He searched up under the rug. He even searched in the toilet. Finally, he gave up searching. He was miserable. I just don't feel like myself without my tail. Billy and Gruff came up with a good idea. They gave Zebra a call. "Hello, Zebra. We have a tail emergency. Can you help? Come over. I think I have just what you need." The zebras were happy to help. They had a spare tail for Churchill to try. And that's what they did. Look, there's Churchill with the zebra tail. But the zebra tail didn't feel quite right. Perhaps I should try some other tails, Churchill thought. Wow. So he went to see Peacock. And I thought Churchill was proud before. Churchill got a peacock's tail that made him feel beautiful. "Ooh," said Churchill to himself, "I wonder what the others will think that I should try. Ooh." A tail from a fish made Churchill feel fantastic. He could do things he'd never done before. Churchill never talked to us anymore. It's all these fancy tails. And look at him. He's swimming around. He tried tiny tails, spotted tails, snappy tails, tails that made him feel big. Trying different tails made Churchill feel so good that he didn't have time for anything else. "Come and play, Churchill." Not even his old friends. "No, thank you. I'd rather busy with my new tails." Now, thought Churchill, it's time for something very special. So he went to Tiger's house. Tiger's tails were really super. "I feel fierce," said Churchill. "I am the world's strongest, bravest pig," he said. "I'm not scared of anything. I am totally fearless." But then a dark shadow fell across his path. Eek! Churchill felt terrified and very alone. What could it be? A giant mean lizard? An unfriendly alien? Or a huge hungry robot with a twisted fork for his head? It wasn't any of those things. It was just a little bird. "What's that on your head?" asked Churchill. "Is it my tail?" "Well, I don't know," the bird replied. "I found it in a bush. I thought it was a worm, but I couldn't eat it." He tried to cook it. "It didn't look like a flower. It was useless, so I put it on my head. I've grown rather fond of it." Uh-oh. Do you think that Churchill's going to get his own real tail back? Let's find out. "Oh, but it's my very own perfect tail," said Churchill. "Please, may I have it back?" "Well," said Bird, "if it's yours, then you should have it." "Thank you," said Churchill. Finding his old tail made Churchill feel like his old self again. He was so grateful that he helped Bird find the perfect thing for her head. And look, the tail is on his head. And making a kind new friend helped Churchill remember his old ones. So he organized a tea party to bring all his friends together. "My dear friends," said Churchill, "I've been a very silly pig and a very bad friend. Can you ever forgive me?" And they did, because they loved Churchill, even though he could be silly sometimes. From then on, Churchill took very good, great care of his own perfect tail, and he was perfectly happy with it. Most of the times. The end. Well, friends, I think that's the end of story time. Didn't we have some fun? We learned about tails and what tails belongs to each animal. And this is the beginning of story time for the summer reading program at the library. So stay tuned. We're going to be talking more things about animal tales and storytelling and having a lot of fun, because it's always good to be with you and have fun. So let's sing our goodbye song. Now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. Now it's time to say goodbye, goodbye in story time, goodbye in story time. Bye!